Supposedly really smart investors that make money off of collecting capital and revenue invest in things that do not work because they're trying to make money, not energy. They're not trying to make clean water. They're trying to get investors to invest. They take money off the top as a fee, and then they run away after the Kickstarter fails. Solar fucking roadways, not freaking. SoftBank Group. Did you do a stupid investment? Idea Lab. Literally? Okay, sure. Did you help start up this project that is literally not any different than pumped storage? But it uses solid objects, so it doesn't have the ability to pump, so it eliminates one of the major advantages to pump storage. I'm not going to bring this guy up. Pumped storage, hydroelectricity. You can also do the same concept as a battery, charge pump storage. So let's looky-dooky at this. You set up a dam. I mean, you can just do this at a dam. And you make sure there's a reservoir above and below the dam. When you end up with a situation where you have more energy than you need, you can run your situation, the equipment, the other way around and pump the fluid right back uphill when you got plenty of excess energy to store it later and then release it later. This is considered one of the, if not the only really useful batteries. And that's Raccoon Mountain, but really it's Raccoon City. Anyway, what I'm saying here is really simple. This is something that was solved a long time ago, and to a certain extent is also added to because rainfall. Now, what if you wanted to do this with sewage instead of water? You can actually do that. That means if you're in an area where water's at a premium and you don't want to do this, you could do it with water that's not pleasant. And in the process, you could also make this some sort of water processing environment to clean up the water. You would only be able to pump up water that was least damaging. It would still be effluent. Why am I bringing that up? Using a bunch of really heavy cement blocks you have to make and moving them up and down and back and forth to create gravity-based storage would be useful if it was more efficient than doing it with water or any other liquid. You can also do other things like centripetal force and flywheels and stuff, but this is the one we know of that works because this is something that happens naturally with rivers and streams, and we can exploit it and use the environment to eliminate 80% of the infrastructure we build, and water pumping is more efficient than lifting a dead weight straight up in the air 100 feet with a cable. And water can be pumped under all sorts of weather conditions unless it's frozen. And oddly enough, even when it's frozen, if the top layer's ice, you can still pump the water from underneath it because the ice acts as an insulator. Unless you're in an area of permafrost, water storage as a battery works better than most of them. In fact, its efficiency level is very nearly, and actually currently is, better than storing it in a battery pack. The only thing better would be to run a worldwide power grid, north to south and east to west, so that everywhere there's daylight, you can pump energy that way. Everywhere there's wind, you can pump energy that way. It would just require that we all cooperate, and in the process, you would nearly eliminate the power of oil-rich states in any way, and more importantly, it would make war so fucking expensive that it would be pretty hard to justify it, because during a war, the first temptation would be to cut people's power lines and water lines, just like they always have been. So, and since that would disrupt everybody, you wouldn't be able to popularly get away with a war, and terrorism would be something that everyone would hate and nobody would put up with. No, it's not going to fix everything on the planet. But waiting for Thunderfoot to bust this was self-busting. And yes, Energy Vault is it's a grifter scam. They're collecting money from investors. They're going to take money off the top. They know it's never going to be any better. It'll probably be much worse than just using a dam and 2 reservoirs. It's gravity storage, right? So anyway, you can look all these people up, all the subjects up, but basically, prove me wrong. Is it better to use water for this or bricks hauled uphill? You can pump water a pretty large distance. You have to use multiple pump stations. Or you can just use 6 cranes or more and have really cool looking animations, because, you know, cool looking animations are much more important than facts. I mean, really, seriously. Quartz covered it? Really? A concrete battery? Prove it works by building a demonstration model without asking for investors. And then compare it to something that's actually being done. Damn it.